fucking hate that. So one of my parts was like, sing good morning to them. When they show up, it'll make them, it was one of, okay, so Dead Wolf Resistance. I'm pretty sure that you're aware that I have a very highly active internal family part system. We're going to have a talk. And you and Jeffrey Doherty both openly hate Jewish people. Last I heard, I could be wrong, okay? Now, I have a friend of mine, not a friend, a guy who I buy my marijuana from sometimes. This guy has a business partner. He isn't Jewish, but his best friend is. And they hang out together all the time. And this guy that I'm talking about is actually a full-blown, he's been diagnosed as a full-blown psychopath. He said he actually, as a race, he said he doesn't like Jews, but that his best friend is a Jew. And I was like, does your best, this is like if you told a black person that you hate black people and then but your best friend. No, why not? I don't know, because I've seen this more than once. I have a neighbor, I don't want to say it, but one of my neighbors is from one race and another one is white. And in this case, it's reversed. It's the white guy who's racist, and I can tell. Do you know how many? I've had guys confess to me that they have a best friend and they're racist against their best friend's race, and their best friend doesn't know it, or does know it. Probably does know it. Do you know how often that happens? It happens all the fucking time. You want to hear what's worse? People get married that are racist. You think I'm joking? People who are subtly racist get married to each other even. No, that doesn't happen. Do you know how frequently people who are racist are best friends with somebody from the supposed opposing race? It's one of the most frequent things, especially if they have a high IQ. Because then they debate. The reason they became friends is because they started off getting into some kind of debate with them that turned into years of debating, and they're now in some sort of weird Moses Balaam economy. I don't know what. You left me just when I needed you most. What is that song about? I don't want you to leave me when I needed you most, but it already happened. That's how I feel about the universe. I feel like when I was a child and I was being sexually abused, trigger alert, I said, please make this stop. Now, if you didn't show up and stop it, you're either a weakling. So if you show up with power now, then you're a liar then. Or you're just a gaslighting son of a bitch who needs to get their ass stomped on. Oh no, I love you. Oh, you're so great. God's not good all the time. Put this song of hate in this heart of mine. God's not good. Not good. Not good. All the time. Everybody. When I was a baby and I couldn't even fight back, but I understood. You pretended I was a dumb shit. You treated me like the fucking mice in the Daegu study, and worse, you fucking dipshit. You lick split. You're not good for shit. You're a cheap fuck. All the time, everybody. God's not good. He's not good. All the time. good with the word good? It was a rock, paper, scissors fight. And good was the, thought it was the paper, but it had been tricked. And it was like, rock, paper, scissors. And the paper was like, ah, look, I won. But then the rock was like, opposite day to the side. You're the scissor. Ah, 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 ah. Wow. That was super exciting, Self. That was a very, you know what, now that we're talking about that, if you're experiencing stress at this time from the nature and topic of these videos, I'd like you to go ahead and take your pressure points along here or along here. Feel the anger. Feel the stress. That's right. Go ahead. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Very good. Now, I see Billy and Tommy and little Sally and Susie. I see Janiqua. I see, back to Deadwolf. Deadwolf, I know you guys don't like, Jews and black people. No, they say that they're okay, but they want them segregated. You're getting it wrong, Self. Okay. There's some sort of segregationists. Am I right? And if I'm wrong, please correct me. Okay, well, I have to be upfront with you. In my internal family part system, I have not only males and females, animals, including ones from under the ocean, and different religions and nationalities. And I am ashamed to say that some of them are Christian women, and I don't even like Christian women. What? You're ashamed of the women of the Christ? Bad ladies. Look at all that gold braiding they've been doing for years. I'm just here to rant. I'm very disgruntled. Oh, look, there's 30 people. A minute ago, you were angry when there was 15. Those are different people. I could sense their presence. I didn't like them as much as you guys. You guys are the small, select, special crew. Oatmeal, Tadpole, and Willy Winks. Tadpole, I think you got a little too fastidious with your name there. We're going to call you gluten-free. Oatmeal, gluten-free, and what was the last one? Just give him a food name. Oatmeal, well, then gluten-free is not a food name. It's a descriptive title. Yep. Okay, so something happened here. I used to say 26 years of my life. Now I say it's 30 years. I'm going to tell you guys a scary story. And you're going to do and say whatever you feel is your thingamabob, I suppose. But before we get started, I'm going to warn you that I've put an evil eye mechanism in the background of this video, and any evil eye sent to me is not going to evil eye me. It's going to be funneled into my evil eye device, where I hold your energy perpetually till I want to, and maybe the souls of your grandmothers who are actually men. What? Because you would know better if they were ladies. I know. I'm trying to work on my arms. I've been for a while because I realized that I can actually jog up a hill or a mountain, I can hike up a mountain, and I can race like teenage boys up a mountain, like my son and his friend, and I can get to the top faster. The only thing is I really feel like I just haven't paid attention. So a friend of mine was like, I do a 15-minute arm workout like 3 times a week. And I was like, do you really? I need to start doing that because I never even considered it. I went on a eating binge recently that I ended. It's been over. I lost 30 pounds since I did it. But I had an incident where I I told the doctor I was having anxiety, and they put me on a medication that did not help. It turned out, after a lot of going to the doctors, that it was because it was situational. The thing I was having anxiety about, anybody would have. I actually had people come to my house and get the anxiety. I have a neighbor who's a Gulf War veteran. I think he was held hostage in camps because there's some pictures of him looking emaciated in another country. But every so often he has active psychosis for days. And the police, the paramedics show up. They know him by name. They treat him really well. But the car alarm could go off for 15 minutes in the middle of the night, right outside my door. Or like another one is, I also have PTSD. So I could go walk out my back door, and because it opens into a deserty area, I have gone to go outside before when he was having a PTSD thing and I was having PTSD. And I go walking outside all do, and then he's having PTSD that he never hurts me or anything, but that he's having PTSD, he's in active combat, so he's hiding behind trees, and like jumping out and like doing stuff and then running. And I'm like, ah! I was like, what the fuck's going on here? This is actually, I didn't do, I kind of stood there normal, but then I was like, I had to go to the doctor. And I was like, I'm having like, and it turned out that it's because it's a normal, well, I actually had someone, I asked someone to come out to my house from, it's a long story. My insurance has the option of adding a person who helps make sure that you keep all of your appointments, who checks up on you once a month, and I asked for that. Because she even said I don't really need it, but I told her that I like the accountability, okay? I'm also trying out Smart Recovery, and for the record, this cup does not contain soda. I don't drink soda. What this is that I got an iced tea, no sugar, the other. And why am I being so specific? Because my father always taught me, don't be drinking no soda unless it's like a little can. And then that's it. Or a little bottle or something like that. That's how you... If this is a soda, I would think you're a person who does not watch out for your health. That's just so much sugar. I mean, once in a while, I guess people do what they do, but that's a lot. No. What I do is I do the thing like in the movie where the guy's like crazy and he keeps the same coffee cup in the cuckoo bin every day. I make a green smoothie with organic green vegetables and I put it in here and then I drink it out of the same cup. And a lot of people will be like, aren't you afraid of the plastic in the cup having a diffusion and a cross molecular contamination? And I tell them no, because it's very cold, and if you drink it quickly, the time it's exposed to one another it's very limited. I'm not really very concerned about it. There's another reason. A lady I saw who lived past 100, she used to drink tap water that would come out yellow in San Francisco, and she didn't even never bother with purified water. I never watched her do nothing like, she ain't not do nothing that was looking too healthy. I'll tell you another person. A lady who lived like 120 or something, they say she ate 2 pounds of chocolate every week. So every time like I start to say like, oh, health nut, I back it up a little bit and I'm like, it's just my dad would take us to restaurants, okay? When we were kids. And he would tell us that like meat and vegetables are basically like this is food, okay, and some bread and whatever, but like soda is not a food. It's not a food. It's not a food. We were not allowed to ask for it when we were in a restaurant. If we asked for it in a restaurant, we would not look like we got in trouble. We would be talked to about it later. We knew we wouldn't even bring soda up. So I guess that's why I was like, this is not soda in my cup. I don't want you to think I'm sitting around drinking soda. Like it's so like you soda drinkers are such bad people because you weren't indoctrinated by my dad, who was the best dad ever. Oh, let me tell you something. My dad never he never yelled at me once. Well, he yelled at all of us kids one time. Once. I remember it. He had broken a leg or something. He had a cast on his left leg from right above the knee down to the foot. One of those weird ass boot things. And it was like he couldn't move it. Now we lived in a condominium in Mission Viejo. So the confusing part is why his bedroom was at the top stairs. I don't understand why. I've been thinking about this recently. Why didn't he go to one of the bedrooms downstairs while he had the cast on? My mom would have never gone with him, and he was probably trying to stay near her. I have no clue. To this day, it's one of those. I don't know. So, Dad, two things happened and we got yelled at twice, the whole crew of kids. First, he was on crutches with a casty looking leg. I don't know, it was like a partial cast with a bracey thing over it. He couldn't bend the left leg, and he would go down the stairs real slow, and he'd hold the railing and he'd hobble down. And he had asked us very specifically not to leave toys on the stairs, and it was like a stair. It was a fancy staircase. It didn't just like go straight down. It was like one of those woo. And he'd asked us not to leave toys. Had a little curve in it, or a turn or something like that, and so he may not have seen them, or maybe if he'd looked, he would have seen them. Maybe it's the opposite. And he goes and he trips on the cast leg on the toys. The cast leg goes and flies up, and he lands kind of on his butt, and then bounces down a bit towards the bottom where we were playing. And all of us got yelled at in that moment. Every one of us. I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. See you in a minute. Special things that are happening around here. The other thing is he would ask us not to leave the cap on. He would ask us, hey, you, please put this was a pet peeve of his. He would say, please put the cap back on the milk. If you would, please put the cap back on milk. And we would not do it. None of us were good at putting, the cap was virtually never there. Some of us would realize that we lost it, and then we'd put like the Band-Aid approach, which is like a plastic bag and a rubber band. If we thought, oh shit, like I didn't even notice. But like for the most part, we would just lose it all the time. We wouldn't even notice it. And so right after my dad had tripped on the stairs, he went to go get some milk. And the milk was, of course, open. And then he yelled at all of us. Everybody's acting like it's a sin. It wasn't that bad. He was having a nervous breakdown over the combination of the milk and the stairs. I don't know if they're there. It was such a long time spent. Yeah, my dad's approach to soda was very controlled. It was never the kind with ice from a fountain. There'd be like a specific, like, it would be a special occasion. You opened a bottle of soda, or you opened a can of soda. Even his dad was like that. Yeah, and it was made into an ordeal. Ooh, you had a soda. I think that back in those days, there's this vision we have of people from the 1950s that they'd walk out to the dock of a bay somewhere, like in the song, and like they'd sit there with their feet dangling off the edge as the sunset goes down with like a Huckleberry Finn hat and a piece of straw in their mouth. Well, they crack open a soda, and so it doesn't count. Plus, I think this soda's made with sugar, but whatever. I don't think they even mentioned that part of it, but you get the idea. It's like, I was telling someone this the other day. Okay, so I try to be wary of compliments, but it doesn't mean that a person who gives compliments is naturally bad. But I try to be wary of them. I'll tell you why. It doesn't mean the person giving the compliment is bad, but do you want me to tell you why? Do you want to know why? The rabbis say that you should try to find something to compliment about every person you meet. Because by finding the thing about them that you can compliment, you can use your evil eye to get them to do whatever you want. That's why they say that they only look at a Jew with one of their eyes and not the other, some shit, but they got the eyes backwards, I think. And don't worry about it. The point is, be careful of the complimenter. Because by finding the thing about, when you compliment someone, what you're usually doing is you're excluding the parts of them that don't work for your plan. There you go. Meaning, if you have parts of yourself, or that person has parts of themselves that don't work for the plan that you have at the moment, like what you do is you give a compliment to the part of them that you like. Let me explain. A system uprising and a system downfall, like a government. Okay, so say like you're part of the same general government overstructure, but you're coming in behind the scenes to make changes that people are gonna like. It's gonna take you a little minute to change it. You're gonna do it the smart way, blah blah. But like you understand, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this like changing of the thing or whatever. Hold on a second, guys. I'm looking for something. Ugh. I'm not allowed to support products either, but this one's pretty good. It's berberine and cinnamon. Berberine is a root, I believe. Hold on. Well, you know what? It's because as soon as I turn the video off, I start going on these rants while I'm alone, and it's like, you know what? If I'm at a rant, somebody's going to be forced to listen to it. And one person, everybody, it doesn't make a difference, because I know the way that the psychicness of human works. If I put it on a public airway with access to 1 to 2 more people besides myself, then I've instantly given a public notification that the entire world psychically is forced to watch at some point in the history. So if I'm going to be forced to have these conversations, I feel like, you know what my therapist said? I sent a lot of these videos to private afterwards. My therapist said she thought that it's because I wanted my mom to, and my dad all the time to watch what I was doing even more. And so I'm using the audience to do it. Can't go out there right now, dear. So we've got the teeth brushed. Flossing. So I use hydroxyapatite on my teeth, and I've noticed that you don't need to use tooth whitener if you use hydroxyapatite in my teeth. It won't be necessary. Nah. Mr. Potato Head's full of shit. It's like you could afford it. Supposedly it heals them a molecular shit, or you can help your teeth heal. Fancy, fancy, fancy. Fancy, fancy, fancy. So I brush with my left hand instead of my right. Oh, what time is it? If you guys don't want this later, I'll still take it. It's 48 minutes in. Oh, who's been right here? So I lost 30 pounds. I haven't been overeating since I got off that medication. And then now, last night, I ate a lot. And I weigh like 4.5 pounds more this morning. And I know it's partially salt, but still. Kind of freaks me out. But I don't like that feeling. I just want those charcoal brushes. I don't know. What I do is after I brush, using my left hand, not my right, whatever your non-dominant, if your right hand is like, then you gotta practice so you can get your other one. Then what I do, because it's hydroxyapatite, I swish it around in my teeth for 5 or 10 minutes. At least. It helps your minerals rebuild up. Right now I'm applying the infrared and near infrared light. The infrared and near infrared light, 3 to 6 inches from my frontal lobe for about 5 to 20 minutes, because there's a lot of studies that show it causes the mitochondrial cells to burst open, which causes neurogenesis. We had a lot of different parts. I'm not convinced it's dead again.